All right. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to the Essential Island Living BOGO after party. We're so grateful for those of you that are joining us live. And I know some more people are probably going to hop on. And also for those of you that are catching the recording, we really wanted to offer a little bit of follow-up education with all of the awesome promos and BOGOs that doTERRA offered us in July. So before we get started, I want to just do a quick little overview for those of you that might be watching the replay that don't know much about essential oils or perhaps bought some BOGOs and they're not quite sure what to do with. So real quick, what are essential oils? They're extremely potent, natural, powerful aromatic compounds, and we find them in all parts of the plant. So seeds, bark, stems, roots, flowers. They're extracted and distilled for a variety of health benefits. They're extremely complex. They provide versatile support to your body. Sorry. That little one was supposed to be napping that just walked across my screen. So hold on 1 second. Tatum, please get in bed. Get in bed, please. Zyler, reading only. Tatum, get in bed, please. I'm glad it's just you two, although this is being recorded. Okay, so they're extremely complex. Every oil has a means. Their complexity also means that they have a high resistance. It's extremely unlikely that you'll build up any type or develop any type of resistance to essential oil as well, which is really important to know. Hey, Mom. We're going to just talk about why doTERRA. There's just a need for a higher standard. 100% pure essential oils are often synthetic, diluted, or not well tested. So this has created a myth that oils are ineffective. When people try these oils that are of a lower quality than doTERRA offers, they think that they don't get the results that they're looking for because the potency and purity is not there. doTERRA has certified pure therapeutic grade quality oils. And what this means is that they're verified pure and safe. They're free of fillers, pesticides, and foreign contaminants. Our oils are better than organic, okay? We have stringent third-party testing, and we also do something pretty amazing called co-impact sourcing, which means that we work in areas directly with the farmers and growers, and so that plants are harvested in their natural habitats to provide maximum therapeutic benefit. And we also get to provide jobs, education, and practical needs for these communities by cutting out the middleman and making sure that they're getting fair wages and what they deserve for these amazing gifts of the earth. So that's our little spiel about what essential oils are. There's 3 ways you can use essential oils. The first way is aromatically. If you can see right here, I have my diffuser going in a little bit of mist. I'm actually diffusing some tangerine, lime, and spearmint together. It's a really nice combination. If you haven't tried that, that's one of the BOGOs that we'll talk about. And I also have those 3 in my hydro flask today. Or that's not a hydro flask, in my flask today. So aromatically, it's a powerful way to get those essential oils and the plant medicine into the air, and we can take those in all day. It's cleansing, it's purifying, it smells great, and it's not full of crappy chemicals. The second way we can use essential oils is topically. A great way, we want to often want to dilute all essential oils. I was listening to a team call just the other night, and there are a couple of oils that I like to use straight up. But Dr. Hill has shared that really all essential oils, when put on topically, should be diluted. And fractionated coconut oil is a really popular carrier oil that people use. Fractionated just means that it goes to an additional process which removes the fatty acids, and so it gives it a consistent liquid consistency. It doesn't really go rancid, and it also takes out some of the scent as well. So your body really absorbs this fractionated coconut oil quite quickly, so it's a really popular way to use your essential oils topically. And we're going to talk about some of the BOGOs were touch rollers that came pre be diluted and are meant for primarily topical application as well. The last way we can use our essential oils is internally. And just so as a reminder, if you find supplemental facts on the bottle, like on this bottle of peppermint, it means that it can be for internal consumption. And I just so happen to have a bottle of deep blue here. There's no internal supplemental facts, and so therefore you'd only use this topically and aromatically. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and dive into our actual BOGOs. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'm going to have to do a couple of little things real quick. All right. Okay, so welcome to our Essential Island Living BOGO after party. It's our first one ever. We're really excited. Okay, Kate, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Kate. I was really excited when Liza asked me to do one or two of the BOGOs. And of course, I said I wanted to talk about this one because the Serenity Lavender BOGO was, I think, my favorite. I always say all of them are my favorite, but this one was my favorite from the whole week because Serenity is one of the oils that I use probably most consistently because it's my go-to for sleeping every single night. So I just happen to be in my bed right now. So I'm just going to show you my little setup that I do every night. I have my little aroma touch or aroma light, diffuser, and I always put about 5 drops of Serenity in there every night to help me fall asleep, which I don't really have a problem with falling asleep, but it's my staying asleep all night that I always have kind of an issue with because I wake up and I have my little list going on everything I have to do at school. So my Serenity diffusing all night helps me so much, just kind of staying asleep till my alarm goes off. And then the aroma light diffuser is great because it lasts for 8 hours. So I love that one. But going back to Serenity, it's now that it's such a routine for me for calming for bed, it's something that I now turn to for other things. So whenever I'm anxious, whether it's like something I'm performing, I have to do something at school because I do a lot of talking in front of my faculty and it still stresses me out a little bit. I definitely use my Serenity in that case. And then whenever I'm on an airplane, I always bring my Serenity and I'll just put a drop right in my hand and then I'll rub it together and smell it and of course rub it all over because just that smell and the aroma just triggers my brain to kind of take a breath, calm down, and it just eases that anxiety for me big time. There are also these soft gels that you can take with Serenity already in there, and you can take the soft gels internally. And those are definitely helpful for sleeping as well as anxiety, stress kind of thing. So those are, when I'm in my consistent use of those, they help me a lot. But those sometimes I have a hard time. But the oil, definitely, every single night, I'm very consistent with using it. And then today we wanted to talk a little bit about the emotions behind all of our oils, our BOGO oils. So Serenity is a blend of multiple oils. So it's called the Restful blend. You can see that right on the bottle. It'll say Restful blend. So the Restful blend, the emotional properties, it's called the oil of tranquility. So the Restful blend has a powerful effect on the mind and heart. It is a uniquely calming blend that invites individuals to relinquish feelings of stress, anxiousness, and being overwhelmed, something I connect with very much. Restful blend can support those who struggle with an overactive mind and inability to unwind. When individuals over-identify with responsibilities or fears, they create emotional states that do not support proper rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. Driven by constant pressures and perceived burdens, individuals struggle to keep up with the demands of their lives. This blend powerfully addresses the underlying states that are often the cause of restlessness, stress, and imbalance.
I think
Rest.
that's why you must love it so
Yes,
much. Not because you need help sleeping, because you are so stressed out.
I know, it's so crazy. And I kind of do it to myself. So Serenity is my best friend for multiple reasons, yes. So this last line, again, it connects with me as well. Restful Blend encourages individuals to first reconnect with themselves and discover the peace that lies within. So this Restful Blend, Serenity, is definitely in my top 5. Probably 1 or 2. Peppermint is up there too. So it's great to use, and I use it with my kids when they need an extra kind of dose of calm. I usually go right to lavender, which is our next one. So moving over into lavender. Lavender is actually one of the oils in the Restful Blend in Serenity. And lavender is, I don't want to say the queen because rose is the queen, but it is one of our staples with essential oils. And if you've used them, which is why you're on the call, this is the one you've probably tried first. So everyone knows lavender is for calming. Using it for sleep, I use it with my girls. This is my go-to for them, in a roller ball with coconut oil like Liza was talking about earlier. But it's also really great for skin. You don't always think, oh, lavender skin. But it's great with sunburns, which my girls get all the time. So I use my roller. I'll put it on right there because they always get sunburned there. And then the next day, their skin looks so much better. And I'll also blend the lavender with Melaleuca together for skin issues because both of them have those great properties, and Melaleuca is also one of our BOGOs. Of course, I use it with headaches. I'll use it with frankincense and my peppermint to help ease headaches as well. And then one other thing that it is so great with is mosquito bites. So I'll put it right there on a mosquito bite if I get one of the girls, and it reduces the redness and calms it down. And then any sort of rash, again, skin issues, it is super supportive. I think one more thing. I don't have a lot of allergy issues, or my family doesn't, but blended with lavender, lemon, and peppermint is the allergy blend that you can diffuse, you can put on topically, and then they also have a soft gel that you can use it with lavender. And then now on to our emotional properties of lavender, which is probably going to be pretty similar to Serenity because lavender is in there. There you go. So lavender is the oil of communication and calm. Lavender aids verbal expression and calming the mind. Specifically, it calms the insecurities that are felt when one risks their true thoughts and feelings. Lavender supports individuals in releasing the tension and constriction that stems from within expression. This bottleneck of communication can result in worried and racing thoughts, anxiousness, and sleep disruption. Lavender encourages emotional honesty and insists that one speak their innermost thoughts and desires. Through lavender's courageous spirit, one is free to share their true self with others.
Nice. Thanks, Kate, for sharing with us. I know those are 2 of your favorite oils.
They are.
That was perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks. All right. So next up, I'm going to talk about spearmint. And what's so really great about spearmint is that it's sort of a more mild version of my favorite oil, which is peppermint. And so it does a lot of the same, it's supportive to the body in many of the same ways that peppermint is. So when you think about peppermint, you think about, anything tummy related, tension, headaches, obviously bad breath. All of those things are ways that spearmint can support the body. And so it's a great, more mild alternative to peppermint. So if you're, with young kids, or if peppermint is too strong for you, spearmint is a great way that you could another alternative oil you could use. Helps with cooling and focus. So I really love spearmint. And it's probably my favorite type of gum to chew as well. I know a lot of people love to, I've been putting a lot of peppermint on my toothpaste lately, but I know a lot of people like to soak their toothbrushes in spearmint after they use them, or put a drop of spearmint on top of their toothbrushes as well. So blends amazing in my opinion with citruses, just like peppermint does. And one of my favorite combinations in the diffuser is spearmint and citrus bliss. It's like an orange creamsicle heaven. It's so good. So spearmint, though, interestingly, is the oil of confident speech. So if you're ever having a hard time having clarity of thought or confident verbal expression, spearmint can aid you with this. Individuals in need of spearmint may hide their thoughts, opinions, ideas by withholding their voices, and spearmint encourages inner clarity about one's own personal convictions and opinions. It assists individuals in translating that inner clarity into words. So it promotes confidence in expressing oneself verbally, especially when speaking in front of large groups of people. And it helps individuals create an effective stage presence by infusing them with confidence. So if ever you have to give a speech or go up in front of a crowd, you might want to use some spearmint, topically, aromatically, and internally. Just even cupping it and inhaling it. It helps you to find your clarity and confidence of voice. And a very interesting story about this. If you've ever gotten a Nitovi scan, you know that sometimes you'll scan for oils and you'll go, I totally know why I got this. And I remember once my sister-in-law scanned for spearmint, and I really was like, she's very outspoken. She doesn't have a hard time expressing herself. And when I looked up the emotions, I was like, oh, I don't know why you scanned for this. And we didn't have a conversation then, but a few weeks later, she told me that the next day she had to give the eulogy at her grandmother's funeral. And she was really struggling with what to write and what to say. And that although she's a rather outspoken person, the whole thought of getting up and talking about her grandma without breaking down and what to say was really overwhelming her. So I thought that was really fascinating, that was the oil that she scanned for. So when we bought spearmint, we didn't just get buy one, get one. We got buy one, get two, which I thought was pretty amazing. And I have to say, I don't remember if doTERRA has ever done that before, buy one, get two. So again, the oil lime, when we think about all the ways that lemon supports us, or really any of the citruses support us, lime is very similar. It's very detoxifying. It's antibacterial, antiseptic, antioxidant, disinfectant, anti-inflammatory. So lime and all of our citruses are just so amazing. And to me, a lot of times with the citruses, it just is a matter of taste, what you like. I use lime a lot. I'm not a big cook, but if I make guacamole, I know that a lot of people that like Coronas use lime essential oil in place of actual limes. So as you can see here, though, lime can support your physical self in a number of ways. In the Essential Life book, it also talks about helping with head lice. You could use lime with Melaleuca in a bottle of shampoo to help with head lice. And it can also help with chicken pox. You can take internally or apply diluted to the skin for chicken pox. So besides the list of things that you see on the screen, those are two other ways. I really love all citruses paired with all mints. So in the diffuser, aromatically, and then internally as well. So like I said, I have spearmint, lime, and tangerine right now in my hydro flask and in my diffuser. So let me look real quick at lime and its emotional benefits. Lime is the oil of zest for life. So when individuals have been weighed down by discouragement or grief, lime elevates them above. It instills courage and cheer in the hearts and reminds them to be grateful for the gift of life. Lime can help cleanse our hearts, especially when there has been an accumulation of emotional toxins due to avoidance or repression. This oil revitalizes the heart space, gives us room for light and joy. It clears discouragement and thoughts and feelings related to the loss of will to live. Lime shines light on the inner motives hidden in the heart and encourages emotional honesty. So this oil can really assist individuals who have overly developed their intellectual capacities but have neglected to develop themselves emotionally. It encourages balance between the heart and mind. It dispels apathy and resignation and instills hope, joy, courage, and the determination to face all of life's challenges. So I always learn something new about the oils when I read about their emotional connection. And then the last oil in the buy one, get two free was tangerine. So again, another citrus very similar to lime, lemon, and wild orange in terms of how it supports the body. It's a powerful antioxidant. It gives us lots of immune support. It's detoxifying, uplifting. I love all the citruses for just how clean and crisp they smell. And so tangerine can be used in many of the same ways that we use lemon and lime. We could put them in our water to help detoxify our bodies and cleanse our bodies. You can use it in a spray bottle with some On Guard to help clean your countertops or make like just an all-purpose spray in your house. But as you can see, there's also a bunch of other ways that tangerine can help support your body physically. I thought this was something I learned that was new, dry, cracked skin. You can apply that along with a carrier oil diluted to the area of concern. Tangerine also helps with breaking up congestion, coughs, and asthma. So you can apply that to the chest area. And then, of course, it is an oil that helps to boost metabolism as well. It can help with poor circulation. So it promotes circulation in the body, and arthritis and muscle pain and tension as well. So let me go ahead and flip to the emotional. So tangerine is the oil of cheer and creativity. It has strong qualities of cheer and joyfulness that can lift the darkest of moods. Those who feel overburdened by responsibility would benefit from tangerine's uplifting vibration. It encourages a person to be creative and spontaneous. So when we're stifled by an excessive sense of duty or creating rigid standards for ourselves during work and responsibility, while all those things, work, duty, responsibility, all have their place, feeling overly worked, overly responsible, overburdened leads to a loss of creativity. So tangerine invites individuals to make room for their creative side and asks that they reinsert fun, joy, and spontaneity into their lives. I think I should be using some more tangerine in my life. It helps support individuals in accessing the abundant pool of creative energy held within our spirits. So definitely going to be using more tangerine coming up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Kate to talk about Melaleuca, and I'm going to just pop over to my kids for a second, but I know she's got this. So I'm going to unmute you, Kate. And
okay. Hi, everyone. So Melaleuca, I talked about a little bit earlier. It is another one that's just super powerful for anything related to your skin, whether it's rashes, whether it's sunburn, bug bites. Together with lavender, I mean, it's like the dynamic duo. And if you add a little frankincense, I mean, that's just going to be more powerful. So Melaleuca is, again, anything related to skin, can even be your scalp. So you can add a couple drops of Melaleuca right into your shampoo, and it's just going to kind of help the health of your scalp. I do that maybe about once a week when I remember. I'll sneak it in the bathroom and get a good wash in there, and it feels so good afterward. What people don't really realize with Melaleuca is that it also is very supportive with immunity. And whenever my kiddos are sick, I'll add it to kind of our immunity blend, which I make a little like a flu balm, including On Guard, frankincense, Melalueca, lemon, some copaiba is my recent addition to that, and then also oregano. So Melaleuca definitely is one that is going to support all those things. It actually also saved me once when I had a really nasty cough, and I couldn't get to sleep because I just kept coughing and coughing. I tried my breathe. I had that going, and I got up and I looked up in a book what else to use, because the breathe wasn't cutting it for that. And it said to put a drop of Melaleuca right in your throat. So I did that, and after that, I stopped coughing and I could fall right to sleep. So that was kind of my hidden Melaleuca gem story that I'll always use that now if I get a nasty cough. So Melaleuca is also known as tea tree. Sometimes people are like, oh, is that different? And no, it's the same. It's just a different name for it. So turning over to our emotional side of things, Melaleuca is the oil of energetic boundaries. We probably all need that as mothers and fathers and whoever's watching. So Melaleuca is disinfectant by nature. Melaleuca, also known as tea tree, clears negative energetic baggage. It specifically releases codependent and parasitic relationships. These toxic relationships may be with people, microorganisms in the physical body, immunity, or spiritual beings. Individuals may feel drained of life force and energy, but they may not be consciously aware of the source of this energy leakage. Melaleuca helps break the negative ties in these kinds of relationships so that new, healthy connections may be formed that honor one's personal space and boundaries. Through these empowering processes, Melaleuca encourages individuals to relinquish all forms of self-betrayal, including allowing others to take advantage of one's time, energy, or talents, letting others feed on one's energy, not standing up for oneself, or feeling responsible for the problems of others. Melaleuca assists individuals in purification practices and in releasing toxic debris. So that's an interesting one, kind of releasing all sorts of things. So again, Melaleuca, the oil of energetic boundaries. Kind of an interesting one. I don't think I've read that before. Moving on to the next one is our Terrashield. So our Terrashield is our outdoor blend. And we added this about maybe a year or two ago to the mix. We used to just have the oil in the regular 15 milliliter bottle. And then they came out with this spray bottle, which is really awesome because we used to just have to make our own spray bottles. Now it's ready. You order it, you get it, you're ready to use it. So it's a little different though because it's mixed with coconut oil, but that makes it even better because it spreads better. And then you're just also giving that moisture to your skin at the same time. And of course, if you've smelled off or something, it smells so much better. Anyone that, I've been using it and they're like, oh, that smells so much better than those other insect repellents. And plus it's safe and natural. So then you don't feel so bad putting it on your children or putting it yourself, that you're going to get rid of those or not have all those bugs come to you. And plus you are doing it safely and naturally. I've never used it as a sunscreen and I'm very sensitive to sun. So it's interesting that's on that list. I might use it sparingly for that to try it out first. I'd never used it as a wood polish either, so I'm learning things today too. All right, so for our outdoor blend, it is called the oil of shielding. So our outdoor blend was formulated as an insect repellent, but it also offers so much more. This blend helps individuals stay calm in the face of danger or attack. Outdoor blend strengthens the protective shield around one's body, helping them to feel safe. This is especially important for children and adults who unconsciously merge with other people's energy. While the confusion between boundaries is often unintentional, there are also those who would target or attack others. Outdoor blend teaches individuals to hold strong boundaries and not allow themselves to be pushed around. So this one actually makes me think of Melaleuca a little bit too, with those emotional connections. But yeah, I love this one. I have at least, I think, 5 different Terrashields. And I brought a party this summer, and it was a hit because no one else, of course, remembered to bring their bug spray. So it's a great, safe, natural bug repellent. Back to you, Liza.
Thanks, Kate. I was trying to look in the I wanted to find that about the sunscreen. This came out of the Essential Life book, but that's the first time that I heard that Terrashield could help as a sunscreen as well. So that's really interesting. At least in a pinch that could be something that could help support you out in the sun. Here we go. Repellent blend. Yeah, apply to exposed skin with helichrysum or lavender to protect against sun exposure. So you would have to use it in conjunction with helichrysum or lavender to help protect against sun exposure. So, all right. So now I thought that this was the most shocking BOGO to me personally, that frankincense was offered. If you guys have been using oils for a while, frankincense is considered the king of oils. And we have this sort of saying that, like, when in doubt, use frank. When you don't know what to use, you can never go wrong with frankincense. It's an oil that's really safe for even the youngest of babies, and doTERRA offered it in these touch rollers, which are so great, especially when you're on the go. The thing with the touch rollers is that their primary use is topical use, and so when you look up frankincense in a book or resource, the touch roller is only pretty much used for topical use. Although in a pinch, you could open the roller up and diffuse it if you wanted to or needed to, and probably take it internally as well. But it is pre-diluted with some of that fractionated coconut oil. But it is so powerful as an anti-inflammatory. We all have inflammation in our bodies, but excessive inflammation is what causes and leads to plethora of diseases, including many autoimmune disorders. And so frankincense is an oil that can help support our bodies in that way. And so using it topically here, frankincense, you could use it directly on the skin for cuts, scrapes, burns, wrinkles, scars, stretch marks. But if you had any head trauma, as you can see here, if you had a brain injury, a concussion, Alzheimer's, if you're suffering from dementia, which some of us just use as an excuse for having bad memories at the age of 39. But you could just roll this on topically across your forehead, across your neck. If you're using it to support your skin, you could just roll it on directly onto your skin every night. This is my rose roller. I tend to use rose on my skin more than frankincense, but just to give you guys an idea of how you could use the touch roller topically. I mean, you could do the same thing with the frankincense roller as well, right underneath your eyes. A super, super amazing, powerful oil. If you had pain or inflammation in your hands, for instance, you could use the touch roller to rub the frankincense right onto your hands. So just a really powerful oil. If you have sciatica, back pain, headaches, you could use the frankincense touch directly on the affected area. And so just so much. And not only does it help you so much physically, but it's so powerful as an emotionally balancing oil. So I just sometimes with my touch rollers, if that's all I have, I can still use this aromatically by just inhaling straight from the bottle. I put a little bit right under my nose. I do that a lot with peppermint. So Absolutely love frankincense. Frankincense is also considered the oil of truths. It invites individuals to let go of lower vibrations, lies, deceptions, and negativity. It helps create new perspectives based on light and truth. It recalls to memory spiritual understandings, gifts, wisdom, and knowledge that the soul brought into the world. It's a powerful cleanser of spiritual darkness. So it just really helps us to connect to our souls with its inner light. And this oil helps to reveal the truth. So frankincense is, when in doubt, when you don't know what to use, you should all have frankincense in your arsenal. If you got this if you got this touch roller, that's super awesome. Be on the lookout in December for when doTERRA does their 200 PV promo for free bottles of frankincense. I always stock up then. So, and then this oil, Jasmine, popped up and I was like, whoa. So Jasmine is one of our newer oils that was released. Was it convention last year, Kate? It was released last year at convention. So in the past, rose and jasmine were only oils that you could basically earn through enrolling people in doTERRA. And last convention, doTERRA brought jasmine and rose only in the touch rollers as regular items. So jasmine here is another oil that people love. Is it pikake here? Is it the pikake flower? Is it the same? Oh gosh, now my Hawaiianness is failing me completely. But people love to use it very similarly to how I use rose. I love rose, but it's really, as you can see, it really helps with anything skin related, fine lines, wrinkles, irritated and dry skin, as a perfume. So jasmine is a really popular oil and people were thrilled when it came out. But you can also see the other ways. It's a oil that's often recommended for women when they're in labor and delivery, and has a lot. It's really connected to our reproductive system. You can see it can help us when we're experiencing really intense PMS, low libido with ovulation and fertility. This is a oil that really helps to regulate our hormones. So you can see that jasmine has a lot to offer topically. So you could apply it topically in this touch roller right onto your face like I did earlier, or to your affected areas. Also with pink eye, you could dilute around, and this is already diluted, so obviously you never put oils in your eye, but you could put it around your eye. Now, if you had something like that, you would never want to use your touch roller on your infected eye, so you would probably put it on your hand, or maybe even like on a cotton ball or a cotton pad or something, and then use the jasmine that way. So but I was really shocked that doTERRA offered both of these oils as a BOGO. So jasmine is the oil of sexual purity and balance. It nurtures healthy sexuality and helps to balance sexual forces. And I'm not really surprised, considering that it supports the body physically in so many ways that have to relate to our reproductive systems and so forth. So it may arouse dormant passions, assisting individuals to regain interest in sexual experience. Jasmine cultivates positive experiences within intimate relationships by encouraging the purification of unhealthy sexual intentions and motivations. It asks individuals to honor and respect themselves and others. Jasmine also encourages the release of past sexual trauma. Though through its gentle, purifying nature, jasmine brings forward unresolved sexual experiences and facilitates the healing process. Traumatic experiences can distort one's relationship with sexuality. Jasmine can assist both kinds of common compensations with those who fear, repel, or resist the sexual experience. Hold on one second. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Hold on one second. We are struggling today, people, with nap time. Struggling. So it is balancing for individuals who use sex to fill a desperate need for love and approval. And it just really supports people who resist sexual intimacy or need resolution in sexual trauma. And, let's be real, this is something that we know many women face. And if we ever get in a dry spell, we know that Jasmine can help us in this area. So, okay, so On Guard, right? We're wrapping it up with the last BOGO, which was doTERRA's most popular BOGO for the week. On Guard. I mean, if you've been using doTERRA, then you know that every household needs On Guard. It is a must-have oil. So On Guard is our protective blend. What makes On Guard so powerful is clove. So on the scale that measures antioxidants in plants, the ORAC scale, clove is in the millions. And so it is the plant in nature that has the highest naturally occurring antioxidants. And so as you can see, On Guard has a plethora of ways that it can support us, kills germs and airborne pathogens. It's an immune boost. It's what we take to stay healthy. It's what we take when we aren't healthy. Staph, strep throat, cough. It's been proven to kill MRSA. I love adding it. It's in my I use all of the On Guard products. It's in my homemade cleansing spray, homemade all-purpose cleaner. I use the laundry detergent. I used to put a couple drops in the detergent I used to use, and then I figured I might as well switch. It helps so much with oral health, cold sores, warts, any infections, wounds. The list goes on and on with how much On Guard protects and supports our bodies from all the yuckies. And I'm convinced it's the oil that helps me stay healthy and keeps my kiddos too from missing school. Tay was actually really sick the day before she was supposed to start kindergarten, and I just was like, and it was just more like she was really lethargic and had like a low-grade fever, and I just like oiled her up and I gave her the On Guard beadlets. And by the time she woke up from her nap, it was from the time she woke up in the morning, and then she took a nap around 2, and once she woke up from her nap, she was good to go. So the power of these oils never ceased to amaze me. I was using On Guard on her topically along with like the flu bomb recipe, and then she was taking the beadlets internally. And so I was really happy that she was able to make it to her first day of school, and she's been fine ever since. So besides the fact that she had a little bit of a hard time sitting still on the carpet, that was her only little faux pas. Then if you bought On Guard, you got a free On Guard hand soap. And we didn't make a slide for that, but let me grab it real quick. I have it right here. So this foaming hand wash is seriously so versatile. Obviously, it's amazing for washing your hands. We want to stop using antibacterial products. Those products are killing all the good things, and they're really creating superbugs. And so we want to start using products that are not antibacterial. And so I love this hand wash. It's probably one of my husband's favorite products besides Deep Blue. But there's so many hacks with this. So I keep this right by my kitchen sink. If I haven't washed a fruit or vegetable yet and my kids want to eat it, say I come home from Costco and I haven't soaked my apples or washed my strawberries or berries, I will just take a couple of squirts on this right on top of the tray of berries and rinse it out. I'll take a squirt and I'll put it right on the apple, give it a nice little quick scrub. But this hand wash is seriously legitimately amazing. So and a little bit goes a long way. I have been telling people to dilute about half with water, but I was watching another webinar that said that if you dilute it down too much, you'll be a little disappointed in its results. So you might want to take more of a 3/4 quarter ratio when you're trying to dilute it in those hand pumps. So Any other hacks that you use these for? That's my big one is, oh, stains. Like if you're trying to get out a stain, you can just pump a couple of squirts of On Guard hand wash. Kanani has a huge hack with this with white baseball pants. She said she would scrub those things for hours and never be able to get the stains out, but she used On Guard foaming hand soap and took them right out after she put them in the wash. So if you bought On Guard oil, you got this On Guard foaming hand wash and 2 dispensers. That was a pretty amazing BOGO. So raise your hand if you got that BOGO. On Guard is the oil of protection. This combination of oils is generally used to shield individuals from bacteria, mold, and viruses. Did you see what I did? Mold there. Okay, I created a new word. This blend's protective properties, however, extend beyond the physical level by aiding individuals in warding off energetic parasites, domineering personalities, and other negative influences. The protective blend strengthens one's immune system, which governs the ability to defend against attacks from physical pathogens and from negative energies. It's incredibly helpful for strengthening the inner self, along with the inner resolve to stand up for oneself and live in integrity. This blend is especially indicated for personalities who have a weakened boundary due to some kind of perpetual violation to their personal space. This gives individuals strength to say no and to resolve to maintain clear boundaries. It cuts away unhealthy connections such as codependency, parasitic relationships, or emotional virus found in negative group thought. Protective Blend greatly assists individuals in learning to stand up for themselves and live in integrity with their true self. So, On Guard Protective Blend, it helps protect us physically, it helps protect us energetically, and it's just probably, although not my favorite, like peppermint is one of my absolute favorite oils. I have a couple others, but On Guard, if I had to choose one oil for my family, it would have to probably be On Guard. So, all right. So for those of you that are already members with doTERRA, congratulations. For those of you that are not, we can't wait to help get you started. This month, doTERRA is offering something pretty spectacular that they've never offered before, which is if you start or enroll with a 200 PV order, you would receive a 10 ml Melaleuca touch roller and a 15 milliliter bottle of Litsea. These 2 oils are you're only able to buy in New Zealand and Aotearoa, so we don't even offer them in the US market. And so I just put one of our most popular kit, the Home Essentials kit, which has several of the oils we talked about today, On Guard, Frankincense, Lavender, and Melaleuca in it that we got in the BOGOs. But even if you're a member, you still get to take advantage of this amazing promo. So if you haven't put in your 200 PV order, definitely do that. I know I have, and I'm considering another one because I honestly don't know when or if we'll ever be able to actually buy these oils in the States. So Manuka, of all the ways that Melaleuca is powerful, Manuka is said to be 30% more powerful than Melaleuca and has many of the same properties and can support us in the same ways. So, and then Litsea is another pretty cool citrus. So, anyway, so during the month of August, place any 200 PV order, whether you're a new customer or one of us old timers, and get those 2 products free. So, I made the mistake, and it might be a little bit too late now, of not introducing myself when we started. But I'm Liza, and I am one of the leaders of the Central Island Living team. And we wanted to just offer this BOGO after party to help support you in using the amazing oils that you scored from doTERRA's BOGO week. So thank you all of you that tuned in live with us. We really appreciate it. If you're watching this replay and you're interested in learning more or getting started with doTERRA, please reach out to one of us. We would love to hear from you. I hope you all have a great weekend. Anybody have anything to say before we shut down? No? All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. Just a quick reminder that every Friday I go live at 2:30 in our private Facebook page for our Essential Island Living team members, and then live to anyone who wants to watch on Instagram live doing product education. So I hope that you make it a point to tune into those or just catch the replay. This Friday we'll be celebrating my daughter's birthday though, so I don't think it's going to be 2:30. I'm just going to pop on whenever I have a chance. But thanks everybody for tuning in. Go BOGO it up and use those oils. Have a great weekend. Bye.